All right, guys, we're getting close to the big day. I just acquired this new lift. It is a JLG Commander 2033, so it lifts the platform up to 20 feet. It's 33 inches wide, and then this platform extends, I think, another 3 feet. So it's pretty big. It's like not the smallest one you can get. It's like the second one up or something. It's a good sized one. It has 750 pounds lift capacity. Well, that's what the specs say. I don't know if this guy can do that or not. He looks rough, right? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, he needs a paint job, but I think that's about all it needs. It has good batteries and seems to function correctly. I got it for a good deal, and I figured I'm going to be building the building for 3 to 6 months. Who knows how long it's going to take me, that I'm going to need a lift, and it's just more convenient and obviously cheaper. The local company charges for the little bit smaller one that would have worked. We'll just say it's approximately $500 a month to rent one of these. So I figure I'll at least need it for 3 months, if not more. And then, of course, just having it longer during the construction phase makes it so that you're not rushed, like, to get it done. Oh, I got to turn back the lift tomorrow, or they're going to charge me for another month or whatever. So anyway, that's why I bought one, and this one's rough, but I'll probably just paint him up just so he doesn't look like an eyesore in the shop. And hopefully I just keep him around the shop, because I'm sure he'll always come in handy. Eventually I plan on cleaning him up, but I picked him up cheap. So today I got a 34-foot telehandler forklift and another scissor lift coming, because we're gonna put the building up, and I want to be able to have a scissor lift at both sides of the rafter when I'm trying to put that up and connect it to the beam. So it's gonna be a busy weekend trying to get the building up. I got a couple buddies coming from out of town that just good friends of mine that don't mind helping a brother out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have us a barn raising party. So got the new lift, got the other equipment coming today. Still got the pile of metal over here. So all those primary beams are, when the forklift comes, I'll kind of get everything staged before my help comes. And then the goal for the weekend is to have at least the primaries up, if not all the secondaries, all the girts and purlins. So if I could get that done this weekend, and that's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3-day weekend, if I could get that all done, man, I'd be super stoked. Anyway, got to get this thing unloaded. Check out this trailer that this thing I rented this trailer from Sunbelt, and it's $75 to rent it for a day. It's an electric drop trailer, so the whole thing drops down. Now, I don't really need that in this situation, because the concrete slab here is right about where it needs to be. But yeah, you got this little pin here, and that unlocks that guy. And then you open this thing. You got solar power, you got a battery, and you got this guy. Woo! He works quick. All right, we'll just leave him like that, and we'll get this thing unloaded. This is not a paid advertisement. Peace tea is delicious. I love it. I drink it all the time. It's pretty much the only thing I drink. It's the only thing I shower with. I'm all about peace tea. It's great for your body. It's great for your soul. Peace tea. So anyway, I got this This is the 34-foot forklift. This thing is awesome. It's got some cool features to it that the 19-footer didn't have, and I'll show you all about that later after I fire it up and get ready. This here is the little 19-footer scissor lift. It looks in a lot better condition than my bigger 20-foot. The 20-foot, that's a big guy right there compared to the other one, huh? Anyway, I had the rental place meet me down the street because with all my construction stuff going on and piles of dirt, there's really nowhere for a semi truck to turn around. So he brought this on a semi truck, and along with the lift, peace tea. And he met me down there, and he just loaded up the scissor lift on the forks of this guy and drove it down the street and over the hill. So now we are ready to go. This thing is going to help, and I got 2 of them so that I can have 2 people working at the same time, getting all the purlins up on the roof. And then whenever we try and do the rafters, we'll have 1 person on each side, or 1 lift on each side, probably 2 people, just to try and get it all lined up and in place. So I think we should be good to go. I think we have a big enough machine, so we should be all set. I am going to make this area here a ramp to get in. I mean, that's where you're supposed to go in anyway. This is going to be where one of the 3 garage doors is. But I'm going to have to get the forklift up onto the slab, and just the way I have this pile of dirt over here and everything's working out, this area right here is going to be the best for that. So I'll move him out of the way and get out the tractor, put the bucket on him, and go ahead and make this a nice little ramp to get in. So after I do that, we can start sorting out our pile of the primary framing members. And you can see they're right here. So I'll just sort them out, get all the posts kind of where they need to go, and then I will get the rafters kind of set up where they need to go to get bolted together, and then the end walls, I'll lay them where they're supposed to be. So that's the plan for today. So it's kind of one of those things that's a bit tedious, but it isn't really a multi-person job. I guess having at least one helper would be good, but I have a bunch of people coming tomorrow to help out, so I don't want to waste their time and have them standing around with nothing to do. So if I can get that part done, then we'll be ready for utilizing all the people 100%. So I'll get the truck out of the way, I'll get the forklift out of the way, and we will be ready to make that little ramp for this thing right here. That's the plan. But here's my little dirt ramp, very simple, just so I can drive up onto the slab here. So I started staging the beams for the build, and these are the rafters, right? So this is just what I'm doing. Sorry, there's all kinds of sun, but so my plan is to have 2 of the rafters built on this side, so we'll bolt them together and have them ready to go up. And then I already kind of set the forklift over here and figured if I can butt up against this wall, like I can grab one and set it in place for the first beam that goes along this line. Look how straight they made my relief cut in the concrete. Very happy about that, I'll tell you what. I mean, there's not much you can do after the fact, but anyway. So I figure I'll be able to get one up that way, and then I'll have to drive in here and get the second one, and then I'll just back her on up and then put her up into place on the second one. And then the third one I'm gonna have to set over here, and I would just be able to, I think I can reach him from the outside like I can that guy. Of course it's the same dimensions, but it's a little bit tighter over here and a little bit sketchier ground, but that's a pretty beastie machine. I think will be okay. So we should be able to set up the third rafter over here, and then I'll just get all the posts ready to go. So we'll have those bolted together, and that's something I can do by myself or just with one other guy, depending on when my buddies show up to help me with this thing. So we'll have those ready to go. I think we can sit the posts. This building is surprisingly light for the beams. Like, they have all the weights on them, and we'll just run over here real quick. I'll show you what this one is because they have it. So this weight is 454 pounds is what this guy weighs. So I don't know, in my mind that seems like more, but I can still, like, with one hand, like, move it, you know what I mean? So it's not as heavy as, like, conceptually you would think a big beam would be. I don't know. So you can move them around to get them into place. It's not that big of a deal. So the upright beams are lighter than that, and I think just with one other guy I can get those into place pretty easily. So if that's all I have tomorrow morning whenever I get started, then I don't think that'll be a detriment. I definitely need 2 other guys whenever we go to put the rafters in place, of course, if not more. So put the word out that I'm doing a barn race this weekend, and invited a bunch of people to come out whenever they can. And if we get too many people, that's fine, because we'll just have fun yelling at each other and making fun of each other for doing stupid things and being safe the whole time. The upright beams, as you can see here, are 400 pounds. So I had one issue. This beam here, if you can see looking down, you can see he's got a little bit of a bend to him, which I'm not too happy about. And so I think I'm just going to take the forklift and just put a little bit of weight on him and see if I can't just bend him straight out the way he should be. I don't really know what else to do. I think it's probably the right thing. So anyway, you guys want to see the forklift? Let me show you this thing. RS634 Gen 3. Gail from cookrentals.com. So they got 3 or 4 stores in the North Carolina area. So check this thing out. So if you saw my video where I unloaded the building from the semi truck when it showed up, I rented the 19 footer because that's all I needed. I wasn't trying to reach real high or real far. 19 was perfect. It was a little bit smaller and easier to maneuver. So I've kind of figured, like, when you're doing this stuff, get the smallest one that will definitely get the job done, just because it's easier to maneuver. So like I said, this one's the 34, I think, and they had a 44 or some size like that, but it was a little bit bigger machine, and I just figured, like, okay, my roof is only 20 foot tall, but of course I wanted to be able to, like, reach the rafters, you know, like the end ones from the outside. So I needed, you know, a little bit more on the diagonal, if that makes sense. So that's why I picked this machine over the 19, and just, you know, using a spacer or whatever I needed to do to get that extra little bit of height on top of the sheet metal, all the way on top. I think it's like 22 feet and change, and it's 20 foot at the eaves. So anyway, let me just stop rambling about that stuff. That's the reason why I picked the size of machine, because it's big enough to do the job. I can hang like straps from the forks, wrap them around the beams, and lift that way. Because I think that would just be the easiest. It will give it a little bit of play, so we can twist it and move it into place. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. We'll see how that works out. Anyway, this machine is pretty sweet. I'll just show you real quick. I'm not going to turn it on because it's just too loud to hear anything, but like the other machine, it has so this is your parking brake, and you need the parking brake to be on, and you need, this is your forward or reverse, neutral, forward. You need to be in neutral for it to start. Okay, got that. So I'm actually not sure what this is. It looks probably like it's for four-wheel drive. I'm not sure. It looks like it engages something. This one here is for the steering, so it will change it from all four wheels steer to just the front wheel steer, so that you can just maneuver better around. So I currently have it on all-wheel steer, and as big of a machine this is, that it's kind of good for the property to get around. So this thing's really cool. You got this is your gear shift. This is low gear. It starts out in second, and then this is high gear. I haven't really played with it too much. I'm assuming it ends up just being down and up. And it's got oh, the other thing it has that the 19-footer didn't have is the forks can tilt left and right, which is really awesome if you're trying to pick up, like, if you can tell that this beam is, you know, not level with the machine. So it does that. But the other thing that this does that's really cool that the 19 didn't do, there's this button right here. This will tilt the whole freaking machine. So the whole machine will rock this way so that you can get it the machine level. So the benefit of that is, well, one, you're sitting level instead of being downhill, but it makes it easier if the machine is level. Then when you're extending the boom, it will get to where you want it to go. So it's just standard controls, back, up, forward, down, and then to the right extends the boom, and to the left brings it back to you. And then this is the tilt, and then here's the button right here. That's the one that will rotate your, or tilt left and right. All right, I'll let you guys take a ride with me. I'm gonna pick up this beam and take him over to the where he's getting staged. And I'm just making sure, okay, the sticker's on that end, so that means that it's the far side. So I'm just gonna pick him up and take him over. So I got this post in front of me, but it doesn't matter because this thing can stretch out 34 feet. So here we go. It's gonna be loud. So again, to start, to put this guy in neutral, right? That's on. All right, we're running. Look at that technology right there. Okay. Now, I'm not a pro at this thing. I've only used these a few times. So as you extend the boom, it ends up raising the position of the forks. So it's kind of like you got to play this game with the joystick where you go out and then down. Now, I'm sure if you held it down and to the right, look, so you can tell my stack isn't level with the forks. So I'll just tilt them just a little bit. Look at that with this trigger finger here. That's pretty cool. So I'm going out and I'm trying to pick this guy up. He's kind of far away.
it's kind of hard to tell exactly how deep underneath it you are. Since this is the last one that on this row, it's really not that big of a deal for me to go really far. But if you're like trying to pick up the one in front, you don't want to go in too deep on it because you'll pick up the one behind it or half of the one behind it. Anyway, what can end up happening is you can, especially if it's like the back one, like you could roll it off the back, and then that's just not what you want to do. So I got this up in the air, and I'm gonna pull them close to the machine because that, you know, just helps with not having a lot of leverage out there. So one, that makes that easier. And yeah, so we got him loaded up and he's ready to go. So you typically want to keep it as low as possible while avoiding obstacles. So I'm going to shift this thing into reverse and take the parking brake off. So you can see it's in reverse second gear. All right, we're rolling. I got a little mirror over here so I can kind of see what's back that way. So if I didn't show you, it just got a standard brake pedal and gas pedal like a car. I just shifted that into forward. Gassing her up. Now you just want to go nice and smooth and slow so you don't drop your load, you know what I mean? So the cool thing about the way those forks tilt is as you're driving, woo, don't go too fast. As you're driving, like when you get on a little bit of a slope, you can just kind of adjust your forks to level it out. Now I'm sure someone who does this all the time would just be zipping around, but I really don't want to drop one of these things because they're kind of a pain to pick back up if you do. And I think maybe potentially they could bend a bit. Maybe not these bigger ones, but the little ones. This is kind of hard to drive and work the controls and focus and keep talking. I don't know. So I'm gonna hit my bank here. I got the load just a little bit off of center, but it's not too bad. So now that I'm kind of clear, I'm just going to lower him a bit so if he does fall, he's not falling from as high, and it just makes it a little bit more stable overall for everything. Unfortunately, I got this mud puddle here. I really didn't want to get the tires all muddy, and I didn't want to make a mess, but here we are. We got to do what we got to do. All right, I think that's exactly where I wanted to put it. Now When you're doing this, make sure you don't hit your anchor bolts. That's probably would be the biggest thing if you somehow hit them hard enough to break something. Shift it into forward. That's how you do that. Now I'm just gonna drive back over and get the one from the other side, you know what I'm saying? Then we'll have those two rafters all staged and then we'll just keep on going. Yeah, I think you get the point. You probably don't need to see any more of that stuff, but maybe some of you are interested in it. I know I got some nephews that are really into machinery like this, and I think they'll appreciate that ride. You can see the tires a little bit dirtier, so I'm gonna take off these things so they don't go flying when I pick up this next piece. But yeah, we're just gonna stage all these pieces out so whenever we go to construct this thing tomorrow, everything's where we need it to be, and we don't have to waste time driving around trying to move this stuff around slowly while people are standing there looking at me. We'll just be going boom, 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 getting the building going, you know what I'm saying? That's how I've always done it. No, I'm just kidding, with my first building, but it seems appropriate. So hey, I got the primaries all staged to go. So here's what I came up with. Got these pallets, found them free on Marketplace, of course. I got 12. I probably should have got more. We'll make do with what we have though. It's good to have 12. And this is just, I don't want to, I got brand new concrete that was very expensive and I don't want to be dragging you know, the stuff out the floor, plus, you know, get it up high enough to work with. We'll have to like flip the rafters over. I guess we won't have to do that until we go to pick it up. But yeah, just to have, you know, more room to work on this stuff. So it's all staged. I got basically tomorrow what I'm gonna do whenever we go to stand these things up, I'll get the forklift and I'll just come in and pick up the first beam, and he goes on the center thing here, and then we'll grab the second beam, put him over here, then we'll tie him together with his girts. So yeah, I'll get those up and then we'll try and work on the rafters and whatnot. So end of day one with the equipment, I'm feeling pretty good. I think we got a plan. So anyway, this is what I got left sitting on the ground. Yeah, let me finish cleaning up here. I guess we're done for today. I'm gonna go meet up with one of my buddies from out of town. We're gonna have dinner and get ready for tomorrow.